However, as I rushed off to get my money from the ATM, it was not the 80% of women that I intended on chasing through this ball. And when I arrived, I believe it was an hour early for this ball, I was somewhat saddened to find that although my future wife was present, she was vastly busy organising the ball itself, as is the case, being the organiser. Fortunately for me, Bolivian boy had not yet arrived. I do not care the fact that his name is George. He is Bolivian boy. Fortunately for me, he was an hour late. And I believe I spent my time fruitfully following my darling wife-to-be around the ball and instructing her on the finer arts of gambling. It is not that I was attempting to corrupt your daughter at such an early stage in the courting process, Brian. It's that she had previously organised a casino and unfortunately she had no idea how to gamble. I was simply doing my duty as a gentleman. As it happens, she later pointed out to me that I was an excellent teacher.
Yeah, very good. Can't remember how.
And as it happens, my somewhat husky voice over her shoulder was unfortunately somewhat distracting.
That's your reason.
The point that Brian doesn't seem to know is that in my oh so subtle fashion, I was dressed as Austin Powers.
Yeah, baby!
The closest I could come to Austin Powers at the time was a blonde wig, somewhat Beatle-like as it happens, horn-rimmed glasses, and a pink metallic shirt. So, for the entire night, there is this... I was following my darling wife-to-be around the room, and apparently it was not subtle enough for me to appear in every single one of her photos, sort of in the background. There I was, behind the entire BVS ball committee, behind George, behind any other photo that just happened to be going on. Not that I was looking over your shoulder, of course. It was an entire month later that I was casually going to the gym in my oh so sexy shorts and t-shirt down one particular George Street when I hear a scream behind me.
Oh, it was not, buddy.
And a woman in a long dress is sprinting after me.
Oh, well, you know.
At least 20 metres.
It was something along those lines.
Michael!
I believe it was.
I think you've dropped your glove.
At the time, I didn't see the subtle point in being dragged into a restaurant to meet the parents.
Well, you wouldn't go away, so I had to do something with you. Meeting the parents would be bad enough.
So, a full 2 months later of casually running into each other on concourse, we finally had our first date, which I believe was 4 years, 6 months, and 9 days ago. So, on the night of the BBS ball, I had thought she looked like a little princess in blue. Tonight, of course, she looks like a little princess in white. Thank you, Antonette.
Oh.
I look forward to our married life together greatly, which will of course begin tonight.
Clear the table.
Now, my own mother and father. For you, I have to thank an even larger fridge full of food, as it had to feed me as I was growing, an even larger Dave, and a Chris that was rapidly catching up. Andrea was never that large. I was never going to say that. I should be offended that someone put those words in my mouth. So, I thank you for seeing me through my few unfortunate cases of ex-girlfriends. I thank you for encouraging me to eat my veggies that I distasted extremely. I have since decided that I do not need to eat any more veggies, as I am tall enough. I do not need to eat any more crusts off my bread, as I have enough chest hair. And therefore, I look to my new wife to encourage me to eat my veggies. As she already knows, I still hate my veggies. And I think she will be even less successful than my mother. Until we have children of our own, and then I'm expected to make a good example, which I do not look forward to. I have never been a good example, and I had hoped never to be one. So, last of all, I shall sit down as I really don't like public speaking.
Yeah, we know that.
I really do not like to be the centre of attention. And three cameras pointing at me is only making it worse. So, thank you all for turning up. I hope you have enjoyed your meal that will soon finish with an excellent dessert that I am looking forward to vastly more than my veggies. Which many people have already noticed that I didn't touch any of. Save for potatoes, because potatoes are okay. Especially when covered in butter. So, thank you all for coming. I look forward to a wonderful night with you all.
I don't have a lot to say, because really I'm actually quite quiet and shy.
We used to be, Antonette.
Really, the only thing I want to say, and really there are no words to express the gratitude to my parents for putting on this wonderful occasion and indeed creating this absolutely exquisite dress. So to Mum and Dad, I thank you more than I can ever say, and I would like to propose a toast to Barbara and Brian and 33 years of marriage today. So to Barbara
and Brian. For they are jolly good fellows, for they are jolly good fellows, for they are jolly good fellows, and so say all of us, and so say all of us, and so say all of us. For they are jolly good fellows, for they are jolly good fellows, for they are jolly good fellows, and so say all of us. Hooray! 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 Hooray!
Those cards.
Now, as the best man, I would first of all like to say how beautiful Andrea looks tonight. And I know through Andrea, of course, how much of an immense help she has been to Antonette today. I would now invite you to stand and toast the bridesmaid.
Thank you very much. I just wanted to say, there's actually a brunch tomorrow at Brian and Barb's house. We've got mats coming around later on. I'll hand them all out. You're all quite welcome to come for a hangover breakfast brunch. Big greasy feed will be really good. Thank you, Brian and Barb, for putting that on. I look forward to seeing you there. That's enough, isn't it? Toast to Mike and Antonette again. Mike and Antonette.
There are, of course, some people who would have wished to be here tonight and joined with us in this joyous occasion, but they cannot. I would now invite you to stand and toast absent friends.
Where the fuck are they?
Up there. He's up there.
Absolutely. Stuck on the track.
Most of you will know that I've spent the majority of the last 3 years in Melbourne, and so I have successfully escaped the wedding planning process. And have had to only be here in the last week. I would now like to invite you to drink a toast to 2 people that have been in total denial that they have been stressed over the last 18 months. The parents of the bride. I would now invite you to toast Mum and Dad.
Brian and Barbara.
Everyone eating breakfast. Thank you for honouring our toast, and thank you for all the kind words. Thank you, Antoinette. It was admittedly somewhat of a surprise when Antoinette and Michael came to us and said we wish to get married at Easter, which was the 10th of April 2004.
How many pages in that book, Brian?
I hope there's not many more.
We've got a few to go. Tonight would not be complete without saying thank you to many people. And firstly, I would like to say a very big word of thanks to Ruth Pretty Catering, Paul, your operation is immaculate. We appreciate everything that you have done for us this evening. We appreciate your beautiful food. We appreciate your immaculate staff, and your attitude to the whole wedding has been immaculate. Thank you very, very much.
So do we.
I would have to say thank you to the in-laws, to Ian and Sue. They've been in Canada for the majority of the planning process, which is probably good luck to Ian and Sue. But you know, their attitude has been very supportive throughout the planning process, and we really do appreciate everything and your attitude. There are, of course, always people who turn up and support you in possibly for them the worst of times. And we have some folk here tonight, Kevin and Mary Gale, who in the recent flooding in the Pt2 were flooded out, are currently out of their home and out of their business, and despite all that, when we had the big bin out the front and we were clearing the decks for tomorrow, who turned up with apricot chicken and rice? Kevin and Mary Gale. Thank you very, very much. You're very special people. To our friends, the Blinkos, lovely to have you with us at the moment. They had 2 weddings on one night. You wouldn't believe it. You go to no weddings for years, and all of a sudden Barb and Terry end up with 2 weddings exactly the same time on exactly the same day. But it does concern me a little bit. Barb's been planted a massive amount of parsley for me on Thursday, and you know, apparently there are connotations of planting parsley which I didn't appreciate. So with Barb, you know, they're all my fault, and they all reflect on me. But thank you very, very much.
Thank you for not getting Antonette to
Inevitably, when you're in a wonderful place like the Regent Theatre, you know, we're very privileged to be here this evening, and thank God for the Friends of the Regent who, despite council opposition, they were going to bulldoze the place. We are here, and it was the Friends who kept us alive. And Ron Osborne, thank you, Ron, very, very much. It's great to have a good friend here as part of our proceedings and part of our celebration. And Ron is the safety officer and looking after us all here tonight. Of course, when we arrived home at lunchtime, and of course, at the end of the day, I'm a retailer. It's very difficult being a retailer in that you are working these days. The expectation is you're working 6 days a week, 7 days a week, and it's very hard to keep friends because you are working. And there are many people here this evening who have tolerated that retailness in order to remain friends with us, and to staff who have stuck around and been very, very supportive to us, and to Nikki, Marie and Rob, thank you for your support, thank you for opening for us today, absolutely brilliant. Nikki has been hugely supportive over the whole wedding process, and we have certainly appreciated that. To Michelle, who's been wonderful in the last week when I have been skedaddling over, pulling weeds and doing all sorts of things. Michelle has not taken lunch hours in order to help out the situation. So to all of you, we do appreciate all your help to make this evening a possibility. So thank you all very, very much.
Thank you, Brian. On behalf of Michael and the family, I'd like to thank you, both you and Barb, for the occasion tonight. A very special occasion. It's brought together our family for the first time in many years. We've come home from halfway around the world. Christopher's coming from Hawaii yesterday. I can't think the last time we had a family together. Sue's got a beautiful dress on tonight. Thank you, Brian, for that. And I know you've dressed pretty much everybody here. And I appreciate the amount of work that you've put in. We've been here, for 10 days now? And just seeing the amount of work you've been doing. I'd like to thank you both of you for this very special occasion. And to Michael and Antonette, well, especially Antonette, welcome to our family. We're going to share Michael and Antonette together, and that's going to be a joy to all of us.
Michael and Antonette in your fridge.
Well, Michael's been in our fridge for a long time, so we know Michael pretty well. No, Michael and Antonette have a very, very special relationship, and they've got they enjoy each other's company. Everyone's seen that, and I'm sure they're going to have a wonderful long marriage. So to everybody, thank you very much.
Thank you to everyone that have made speeches tonight. It's been very entertaining. Dessert will follow shortly, but first I invite Antonette and Mike to cut the cake.
A bottle of brandy later.
Lovely brandy variety.
So, is it salty or what?
Right, let's pass. If anyone has a strong aversion to brandy, I would not suggest partaking. Right.
It's lovely. It's just it's got a bottle of
Mary,
brandy in it.
there's your brandy.
Right, okay. What's next?
Drink up. More dangerous than
Here you go.
yeah, you've already done the business on that. So yeah, having a good time there?
Yeah, I was mixing it up, getting something stirred up for the dance floor later on.
See you on the dance floor.
Yeah, well, anyway, we're taking for that. Come on,
Sorry bro, I was just about to smash you.